craziest thing I've ever done. But I am in downtown Jackson, Mississippi, as you can see. And I am parked, literally, in the middle of the street. On their busiest street. Because that's where the police actually just told me to park. Bizarre. I thought all those cars were stopped for traffic, but no. That's where I parked. So that's what I did. Hello. So I'm still in Jackson, Mississippi, and I was walking to the Civil Rights Museum, and I ended up here. I actually don't know where I'm at. I mean, I do know where I'm at on the map and where I need to be, but I don't know what these buildings are called. That one over there says Williams something Archives and History Building, but we'll go look at that in a minute, because more importantly, I want to look at this one, because, oh, this ground is wet. It says, on our proud banner breaks the sunrise light of honor. So there it is. On our proud banners breaks the sunrise light of honor. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to figure it out. And I'm sorry if you're from Mississippi and you're seeing this and you're thinking Dingbat went to some place she doesn't even know what it is and doesn't know what it means. It's because I was walking someplace else, and every time you do, you just run into something that is super cool. These are soldiers. I'm not sure from what era, but look at this. This sort of reminds me of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. So I'm gonna go up here, and up above it, it says, peace shall come to those who strive for peace. Oh, well, that's definitely true. Remember that, folks. Peace shall come to those who strive for peace. Kind of goes along with my saying you can't find peace until you find all the pieces. This is beautiful. Oh, here it is. This building was paid for by the taxpayers of the state of Mississippi. War Memorial renovation 2002. So this is their war memorial. Oh, sorry, that's GPS telling me I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But that's okay. Okay. Where does that sentence start? Because if you look up there, you see a sentence, and I'm sorry if I put you guys in the sunlight. Okay. Home to God, who made their soldiers' hearts beat with selfless zeal to right. Does that really say satanic wrong? How sweet must be the peace the heroes find when crusades ended death has borne them home. Okay, so it must be written in Old English, but I'll repeat it. Home to God, who made their soldiers' hearts beat with selfless zeal to right satanic wrong. How sweet must be the peace the heroes find when crusade ended death has borne them home. This place is beautiful. Then down here it says, may this symbol stand guard over the ideals and purposes for which gallant Mississippians suffered, and may it serve as inspiration to us to shield forever the fragile quality of liberty. Wow, guys, it really is pretty here. And look at that silver up there above each window. And here's some beautiful doors. I don't know if I can go in here. It looks like one is open. Wow. It is open. So I am going to go in. Again, I hope my behaviors in investigating and looking at the things I want to look at don't offend anybody. Because that is not my purpose. My purpose is just to check out the world. But this isn't a memorandum. So this is a war memorial. I don't see any other people around. Here's the history of it. Okay, so I figured out that this is the Jackson, Mississippi War Memorial, and that this is the old Capitol. And there's actually an old Capitol tour that they gave me a little map to. It's like a walking tour. And I guess that's part of what I ended up on my way to where I was going. Which is pretty crazy because there's a building way over there, which I can't get on the camera because of all these trees, which by the way I think are magnolia trees, that I thought was the old Capitol because it has one of those Capitol domes, but I guess all old Capitols don't have to have a Capitol dome. I don't know. And then there's the Standard Oil Company. I finally got the GPS off, so don't stop talking. It's gonna mess up my recording, but at least it won't get me lost. But anyway, this was Standard Oil, and over there is Standard Life. But they have a lot of old buildings here, so I wonder what Standard is. And I would tell you that I'm gonna Google it later. But again, you know I won't. I don't know what that is down there either, but it's beautiful. I'm gonna have to check this stuff out. You know I won't Google it later, so if you're really that interested, you can Google it. Because I am going to the Mississippi History and Civil Rights Museum. It is somewhere down the street. I gotta figure it out. The Eagle and Bowman Hotel. Anyway, walking around Jackson is like really cool, walking around an old city. The buildings, it's got so much history. And I know everybody in the world isn't a history buff. I wasn't always a history buff. But the fact that some of these buildings have just withstand so much time, and so many renovations, and so many people in and out, and actual wars, is amazing to me. But anyway, I think I'm where I need to be. So this video will be brief. I'm walking through the Civil Rights Museum in Jackson, Mississippi. And I'm going to give this museum the respect it deserves, and that is everybody's attendance. When you walk through here, it does give you a bit of a confusing feeling that this did happen, and it happened right here in America. And we said that the Holocaust was wrong, and what Hitler did was wrong, and we went to war and we fought over that, and we went to war and we fought over this. But even though we went to war, and we fought over civil rights, and we fought over equal rights, it seemed to have carried on for just so long. I mean, this was happening when I was alive. This was happening when I was in grade school. This was happening when I was in high school. This was happening when I was in college. This was happening when I was raising my kids. It was just still happening. And I can't speak for Germans, and I can't speak for Europe, and I can't speak for that country, but I don't know that the same sentiment that Hitler provided for the Jews at the time is still happening so boldly and bravely in that country and on that continent as this happened here. It's just one of those odd questions that I don't know how to answer. I don't even know who to ask for an answer. But since I am out here trying to find all the pieces to everything that I understand about life, looking and seeing that this stuff is still going on, and how ridiculous it seems and how absurd it seems. And please don't think by me saying it's ridiculous or absurd that I'm not giving it the respect it deserves. I'm saying it's ridiculous and absurd because there seems to be no real reason why. What was the threat? I saw a sign here that said, so I took a picture of it, so I'll post it with the video, but something about pure breeding and keeping white is essential to the Americans. Hitler's sentiment in Germany was the exact same. It was no difference. No difference at all. But anyway, I just wanted to do a brief walkthrough because I told you earlier I was coming here. But I've been here for hours just reading and learning and educating myself and just marveling. And by the way, first of all, how well this is done. And then the shock of it all. That is just... And a lot of people say that because I'm from Arizona, I wasn't as exposed to this as people in the South, and that may be true. That actually is probably very true. But I just wanted to say that I'm at the Jackson, Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. Again, I'm whispering because I am inside a museum and there's tons of people here. But y'all need to come check this out. It does deserve everybody's attention. And it does need to stop. I went back to look at that sign I was talking about, and it said racial purity is American security. Wasn't Hitler going for racial purity too? What made us as Americans believe Hitler was so wrong, but we were so right? And was it just individual people that thought they were right? Was it just individual communities, individual states, individual governments? Or was it our country as a whole? These are statements that people that have come to this museum have written on these cards that are down here. And I'm not going to record it all because, again, you got to come check it out. It deserves our attention. And it deserves to stop. Not just for my kids, but for your kids, but for all of our future. Everybody's. Where do we go from here? How can we make it easier to talk about race? What would you take a stand for? There is a fourth one somewhere. Let's walk over here and see if it's over here. It is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. Maya Angelou. How can we improve our relationships with others? It's the fourth one. Believe in yourself, learn, and never stop wanting to build a better world. Sorry you're seeing my reflection in this, I'm realizing, but I want you to pay attention to the words, not me. The movement today for freedom cannot be pushed back any more than a tidal wave can be pushed back by hand. That which seeks to destroy the freedom of man seeks to destroy the soul of man. Every great idea begins with a dream, always remembered. You have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. There is one thing you have got to learn about our movement. 3 people are better than no people. Each time a man stands up for an ideal or gets to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope. Give light and people will find the way. Faith is taking the first step when you don't see the whole staircase. And this is one of my favorites. If you want to be proud of yourself, you have got to do things you can be proud of. I didn't name the people that made those statements because all of us, every human being, has those statements and the capability to have those beliefs, those feelings, and make a change in them. Walking back to the rig, parked in the middle of the street, parked in the middle of Capitol Street of all streets in downtown Jackson, Mississippi. Had a great time checking out some museums here. It's already after 3 o'clock, I'm out of time. Gonna try and go see this Muslim cultural center, and then I am going to be on my way to Vicksburg so I can see some Civil War stuff. I used to look at a lot of Civil War stuff back in New York. I really like that. So I'm going to go check that out in Vicksburg. Anyway, peace. Just wanted to let you know that I found my way back to the rig. Parked in the middle of the street, this time all by itself, in Jackson, Mississippi. Bye. I don't know how well this is going to turn out, but if you don't know, I am camped out for free on the Mississippi River. This down here, if you can see it out there, is the Mississippi. This is my first time recording at night, but I'm recording, well, it's not really night, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I heard this bang, And then I started seeing all this commotion out the window and stuff. So I had to look out, and it's kind of hard to see because the Mississippi is like pure black. There's a bridge out there, but this is a barge. I believe it might be a garbage barge. If you could see all the way down there. Oh, that light looks cool. And then in front of it is a little tugboat. I will walk back that way so you can see better. And then out there, there's a different boat going by. I'll zoom into that one. Just look like lights. I've never recorded at night, so I don't know how this is going to turn out or if I'm supposed to be on a different setting. But right there, if you can see him, there's a man walking on the barge. I don't know what he's checking out. But anyway, I think, well, just my thinking, is that this barge hit these rocks. And now it's being rescued by a tugboat. And it's funny because I always thought tugboats were cute. They make little stories about them and everything. But a tugboat, man, tugboat is the boss, because there really is a tugboat at the front of this barge that is apparently going to pull it off these rocks. And if you would have heard it hit these rocks, it was really loud. Yeah, that man's got a headlight on. I don't know what he's doing down there. But we're going to walk the other way so we could check it out and see. I wish I could see that other boat better. And I wish I practiced recording in the dark first before I got to record something so cool. But this barge is long. Excuse me, I did just wake up to this. So you can see the light shining on the rocks and everything. So they could see what's down there. And by the way, when those lights were shining on the rocks, all you saw were all these cats come out of there. So there must be like a family of cats living down on this river, which cracks me up because every time I think of this river, all I think about is Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. But so see where that blue looking light, even though it's not a blue light out here, it is a big white light, that's the front of the barge. And then in front of that, I believe, is the tugboat. So I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to hope it shows up more than just crazy lights on the phone. And then if it doesn't, then I'm going to play with my phone to figure it out. But look at this, is like a 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 section type barge. I used to watch garbage barges, I know that sounds weird, go down the Hudson in New York. But I don't remember them being this long. But also the Hudson is nothing compared to the Mississippi. At least in my mind. It might be. I'll be going to see it again, so maybe it would be different. See, there's the little tugboat that went in front of the big barge. And is going to rescue it. Shoot, on camera it just looks like lights, but out here it doesn't. So as soon as I walk to the end, I'll play with the phone and try and record in reverse. But check that out. And it's huge. This barge thing is huge. And it looks like it has like construction equipment on it and stuff. But I think I'm up to like the 5th section of it. See? And there are other people out here. I think they're actually getting ready to leave the casino. But yeah, that is the front of the barge. And then in front of that is a little tugboat. So again, I don't know if you can see this, but that is the tugboat pushing the barge back. They got the barge off the rocks and they're pushing it back, but it doesn't show up on this video. As cool as it is out here, it is super cool and it's going really fast. I don't know. It just doesn't show up good on video. I'm sorry, folks. I don't even know if this one will get posted. But it's really cool. The little tugboat is pushing the barge. Got it off the rocks. There's a boat over there shining a light. Oops. There's a boat over there shining a light on the rocks on the other side of the river. And I wish I could get this to show up cool because it just looks so cool, but I don't know what to do. I keep playing with buttons and nothing happens. Anyway, maybe this light bulb button helps. No, that made it worse. That made it darker. Nothing is helping it. Well, I'm still down here by the Mississippi after all that stuff this morning because I tried to fall back asleep. And on the other side of the river, there's also a barge they're hooking a tugboat up to, and it's going to be pulled by that tugboat. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 barges connected to it because I lost count when I went around that tree. So anyway, maybe when that barge hit the rocks, maybe it wasn't being rescued. Maybe that's just what they do. Although it does have a boat on the front. So I don't know what's going on, and that's definitely not the same barge that was over here this morning. But that is definitely another barge. It's going to be hooked up to a tugboat. And that tugboat moved that other one backwards pretty fast earlier this morning. I did try to record it, but it was so dark and I can't figure out dark versus light recording. So I didn't get a good view of it. But I just thought I would record this for a little bit for you so you could see, first of all, just how beautiful the Mississippi is. Look at all that. That's me zooming back out because that thing is on the other side of this river today. But it's got all these pretty, I think these are maple trees as you walk by, and some oak trees mixed in there. And then this cool piece of art. Some guys playing instruments, banjo and a horn. Pretty cool, right? And there's another one, but I took a picture of it. I'm going to put that on the internet. But it is a cool alligator made out of like old rusty chains. Pretty neat. But I just thought I'd videotape before I go. I am off to the National Civil War Battlefield Park. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, it's a national park built where a battlefield once was. And you get to drive through it. They said my rig is small enough to drive through the whole thing, except for the cemetery. So when I get to the cemetery, I will get out and walk. And then I'm going to go see some murals today. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to go see they call them Annabelle homes. They're homes that still exist. Some of them actually function as bed and breakfasts. But they're prior to the Civil War. Which is pretty cool because that means these houses have been around for a long, long time. So you could just see how pretty this is. There's the bridge over there again. I'll zoom into it. I wonder if Zoom makes everybody dizzy. It sort of makes me dizzy to do it. Zoom back out. But look at that river. Huge. Huge. I never knew that the Mississippi was this big. And apparently there's parts where it's more than 250 feet deep. And I don't remember the stats on the Hudson at all. But hey, I'm going back to New York, so when I get there, I will figure that out for it. Anyway, bye.